Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Guru and Gauranga. So, continuing our discussion on Srila Prabhupada's small book, Kṛṣṇa The Reservoir of Plesure. So, we are starting with chapter number 2 of this book, which is about Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lovable Object. So, before start our discussion, let us offer our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanathmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahavana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Badam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurutuse Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's start with chapter number 2 of Kṛṣṇa The Reservoir of Pleasure book. Chapter number 2, Kṛṣṇa the Supreme Lovable Object. Bhakti means devotional service. Every service has some attractive feature that drives the servitor progressively on and on. Every one of us within this world is perpetually engaged in some sort of service, and the impetus for such service is the pleasure we derive from it. Driven by affection of his wife and children, a family man works day and night. A philanthropist works in the same way for the love of the greater family, and nationalist for the cause of his country and countrymen. That force which drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called rasa, or kind of mellows, relationship whose taste is very sweet. Bhakti ras is mellow, different from the ordinary rasa enjoyed by mundane workers. Mundane workers labor very hard day and night in order to relish a certain kind of rasa that is understood as sense gratification. The relish or taste of a mundane rasa does not long endure, and therefore mundane workers are always apt to change their position of enjoyment. A businessman is not satisfied by working the whole week. Therefore, wanting to change for the weekend, he goes to a place where he tries to forget his business activities. Then after the weekends is spent in forgetfulness, and he again change his position and resume his actual business activities. Material engagement means accepting a particular status for some time and then changing it. This process of changing back and forth is technically known as bhog tyag, which means a position of alternating sense enjoyment and renunciation. A living entity cannot steadily remain either in sense enjoyment or in renunciation. Change is going on perpetually, and we cannot be happy in either state because of our eternal constitutional position of being eternal fragmental part of the Supreme Lord. Sense gratification does not endure for long, and it is therefore called chapala sukha or flickering happiness. For example, an ordinary family man who works very hard day and night is successful in giving comfort to the members of his family, thereby relishing a kind of mellow. But his whole advancement of material happiness immediately terminates along with his body as soon as his life is over. Death is therefore taken as the representative of God for the atheistic class of man. The devotee realizes the presence of God by devotional service, whereas the atheist realizes the presence of God in the shape of death. At present, everything is finished. At death, everything is finished, and one has to begin a new chapter of life in a new situation, perhaps higher or lower than the last one. In any field of activity, political, social, national, or international, the result of our action will be finished with the end of life. That is sure. Bhakti Rasa, however, the mellow relish in the transcendental loving services of the Lord, does not finish with the end of life. It continues perpetually and is therefore called Amrita, that which does not die but exists eternally. This is confirmed in all Vedic literatures. The Bhagavad Gita says that the little advancement in Bhakti Rasa can save the devotee from the greatest danger, that of missing the opportunity for human life. The rasas derived from our feelings in social life, in family life, or in greater family life of altruism, philanthropy, nationalism, socialism, communism, etc., do not guarantee that one's next life will be a human being. We prepare our next life by our actual activities in the present life. A living entity is offered a particular type of body as a result of his actions in the present body. The basic principle of the living condition is that we have a general propensity to love someone. No one can live without loving someone else. This propensity is present in every living being. Even an animal like tiger has this loving propensity, at least in the dormant stage, and it is certainly present in human beings. The missing point, however, is where to repose our love is so everyone can become happy. At the present moment of human society, teaches one to love his country or a family or his personal self, but there is no information where to repose the living propensity so that everyone can become happy. That missing point is Kṛṣṇa, and the process of devotional service teaches us how to stimulate our original love for Kṛṣṇa and how to be situated in that position where we can enjoy our blissful life. In the primary stage, a child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and as he daily grows up, he begins to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But the loving propensity is not satisfied even by loving all human beings. I repeat the paragraph. In the primary stage, a child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and he daily grows up, he begins to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But the loving propensity is not satisfied even by loving all human society. That loving propensity remains imperfectly fulfilled until we know who is the Supreme Beloved. Our love can be fully satisfied only when it is reposed in Kṛṣṇa. This theme is the sum and substance of the science of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. teaches us how to love Krishna in 5 devotional transcendental mellows. Our loving propensity expands just as vibration of light or air expands, but we do not know where it ends. Bhakti Yoga teaches us the science of loving every one of living entities perfectly by easy method of loving Krishna. We have failed to create peace and harmony in the human society even by such great attempts as United Nations, because we do not know the right method. The method is very simple, but one has to understand it with cool head. Bhakti Yoga teaches all men how to perform the simple and natural method of loving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we learn how to love Krishna, then it is very easy to immediately and simultaneously love every living being. It is like pouring water on the root of a tree or supplying food to one's stomach. The method of pouring water on the root of a tree or supplying food to the stomach is universally scientific and practical, as every one of us has experienced. Everyone knows well that when we eat something, or in other words, when we put food in the stomach, the energy created by such action is immediately distributed throughout the whole body. Similarly, when we pour water on the root of the tree, the energy thus created is immediately distributed throughout entirely of even the largest tree. It is not possible to water the tree part by part, nor is it possible to feed the different parts of the body separately. It is not possible, I repeat, it is not possible to water a tree part by part, nor is it possible to feed different parts of the body separately. Bhakti Yoga teaches how to turn the one switch that will immediately brighten everything everywhere. One who doesn't know this method is missing the point of life. As far as material necessities are concerned, the human civilization at the present moment is very much advanced in living comfortably, but still we are not happy because we are missing the point. The material comforts of life alone are not sufficient to make us happy. The vivid example is America, the richest nation of the world, having all facilities for material comfort, is producing the class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. I am appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the art of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, and I am sure that the fire of material existence burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled despite our great advancement in materialistic way of life. This transcendental science will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world, perfectly engage in devotional service, and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. This knowledge is not presented to condemn any way of materialistic life, but the attempt is to give information to religionists, philosophers, and the people in general how to love Krishna. One may not live without material discomfort, but at the same time one should learn the art of loving Krishna. At the present moment, we are inventing so many ways to utilize our propensity to love, but factually, we are missing the real point, Krishna. We are watering all parts of the tree, but missing the tree's root. We are trying to keep our body fit by all means, but we are neglecting to supply food to the stomach. Missing Krishna means missing oneself also. Real self-realization and realization of Krishna go together simultaneously. For example, seeing oneself in the mornings means seeing the sunrise also. Without seeing the sunrise, no one can see himself. Similarly, unless one has realized Krishna, there is no question of self-realization. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was Krishna himself, appeared in 1486 AD in Bengal and gives us process for attaining pure love of God in this age. Simply by constantly chanting and hearing the transcendental sound vibration Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, one can achieve the desired goal of life. We invite all people of all colors, of all creeds, and of all walks of life to come and join us in the chanting this Mahamantra and experience its transcendental potency. Anyone of any religion who takes up to this process of God realization or Krishna realization, Krishna consciousness, will develop his love of God and thereby perfect in his life. So with this we have completed chapter number 2 of this transcendental book of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for hearing. Your servant Brijesh Tanaya Das.